Alright, so are we actually live now? Aha, we are live now. What's up, guys? I'm back, kind of. We're here. That's all that matters. I don't know what the plan is for anything ever. We'll see where life takes us, but I want to try out the Suzerain game because I wanted to get my channel back on the strategy. Still keep a management taste to it, but no city builders. Maybe some colony builders, something like that. Because it kind of falls under management. But we are going to hold up. I need to grab. So I am. I don't know if this is going to show chat. OBS has done some updates on how YouTube. Look, there we go. I'll put chat over here. Just in case there is chat. Perfect. This is the perfect interface. OBS has done a really good job of finally catering to YouTube streaming. Because YouTube chat was very meh. But now I can actually see my stream details and everything. It's actually really nice without having the YouTube page up. So anyways, we're going to start a new game here. We're just going to go Steve. I've never played this game before, so I wanted to give it a shot. I didn't realize how overwhelmingly positive it was. I think it's like a 97 or 98%. Absolutely nuts. Alright, so we are the Republic. Oh, can we? Oh, so I guess in the next one we can be other factions? Or is it just that faction? The Kingdom of Rizia. Alright, so we are a presidential republic. We have 37 million people. We're in recession. So we'll be able to get out of this because we're super familiar with this sort of scenario, I guess, in terms of recessions. Regional influence, major power. Ooh. We get to wield our power on others. Starting date, 1954. Great year. I don't know if... I can't remember if the Korean War had started then or not. Might have been mid-50s. I'm not very good with dates. But anyways, we're going to start the story here. This is our portrait. Aston Rain has been elected as the 4th president of Swordland amidst a deep recession, demands for reform, and external pressures. Let's guide our people back to our former glory. Steve. You are my enslavement and my freedom. You are my flesh burning like a raw summer night. You are my country. Alright. 1908. Kingdom of Swordland. You open your eyes to this world. You came from a wealthy family in the city of Lachaven. We'll just go middle class. We'll keep it pretty medium. Your parents named you, Anton, as the only child of a diligent civil servant. You lived quite an ordinary childhood. Life was not bad. You were lucky enough to attend a well-known public school, but frequent fights broke out at the Rain family home, which made you feel uneasy. The years have passed. Alright, 1923, September 9th. During a history class at school, the bell started to ring unexpectedly. You heard a loud commotion outside. As everyone tried to figure out what was going on, the principal announced the historic revolution. The kingdom was no more. The Republic of Swordland was born. Ah. We're just going to be happy that we got the day off, because that's how we would all react as kids. After graduating, you passed the university exam with high marks. You had the opportunity to choose between several studies. You chose... Do we want to do Economics or history? We're going to go with economics. During the first year, you attended a lecture with David Whiskey. David Whiskey? Interesting name. He was a well-known diplomat from the foreign ministry and the son of the president. After observing the hall in silence, he explained why a market economy is the better option for Swordland. He argued for a system where prices for goods and services are determined by the open market, and we agreed with that principle. Soldiers entered the campus in the evening. Oh God, jeez. Soldiers entered the campus in the evening ahead of the first election. Many were in shock as the uniformed men created a security cordon and started arresting the teachers. A group of students started gathering in the protest, along with your best friend, Peter Vectern. You decided to protest with the students. One of the officers made a loud announcement that echoed through the campus. General Luteran declared martial law in order to restore the administration. Please stand back and disperse to your rooms. You joined the students that slowly marched towards the large group of soldiers. Suddenly, the soldiers charged. Oh my God. A student fell and was trampled as everybody started running away. We held our ground. I probably wouldn't in real life. Most of us wouldn't, but we're gonna do this because it's a video game. The soldiers beat you relentlessly. It was a gloomy year. Sad. The majority of the students and teachers displayed their opposition. Thus, Lockhaven became a target for the military regime. You didn't want to stay idle and decided to join a political debate group. Yeah, we'll do that. The coup of 27. October 10th. The dozens of debates helped you hone your oratory skills. I need to go into some debates, apparently. Skills, while also helping you grow your network. Even though the discussions between different groups often became heated, you all grew from sharing ideas. In one of the meetings, Peter Vectern introduced you to a classmate of his, Monica. You were immediately attracted to her beauty. She mentioned to you that she was a volunteer for the Swordish League of Women, an organization campaigning for women's rights. Yeah, I don't really care about women's rights, but you want to grab some dinner? It's a great way. No, if Monica's gonna be our lady, that's probably what we should do. The politically charged environment led you to the Red Youth, Socialist Nationalists. I'm going to stay away from political organizations because I probably don't subscribe to any of them. 1928, June 2nd, the radio relayed that the communist general Ricard surrounded Luteran and his troops, demanding their surrender. They refused, and heavy fighting broke out across the country. You just couldn't believe it. The army was fighting amongst themselves. Swordland has been plunged into chaos. The clashes escalated into a full-blown civil war. The horrors made you isolate yourself for a while. Monica helped you cope, and love grew between the two of you. However, it was a difficult time for love. 1929, the Republic of Swordland. The charismatic Colonel, Tarquin Sol, orchestrated a sudden attack on the capital where the Luteranist and Ricardist, so wild names, forces were battling each other. He defeated both, ending the war. A new constitution was written and the military government began efforts to restore stability. Many people saw the colonel as a savior. He formed the United Swordland Party and ran as a presidential candidate in the first ever single-party election. Yeah, I'm not going to vote for a military government. USP. Okay, so that must be the... Yeah, okay. Won the election by a large margin, the military government announced a 4-year restoration period to transform to an entirely civilian government. After graduation, you kept seeing Monica. You both were interested in marrying and starting a family. However, a letter arrived from the military calling you to fulfill your compulsory service. It was time to serve your national duty. My God. 1930, February, in the Berger region. This is the Wayland Civil War. A devastating civil war broke out in the neighboring country of Wayland. It is a young and fragile republic neighboring Swordland. I think Wayland was south of us. It quickly turned into a proxy war between regional and world powers. The distinguished Major Iosif Lancia ordered you to lead your squad on a border patrol mission. It was a very cold winter night when you began marching out of Gumarin Outpost. You could see your breath. It's so cold you could see your breath. After several hours of marching through the snowy hills, distant noises were heard. Visibility was too low to confirm the source, so the squad crawled forward in formation and found a spot to observe. A group of refugees had made it beyond the border fence. We'll escort them back. If we just let them slip through, then something bad could happen. The refugees were in despair when they realized that you were taking them back to the border. Oh, I don't want to take them back to the border. Oh, God. Screams and protests ensued and they were restrained. You delivered them to the border guards. Oh, God. I thought I was like escorting them back. Okay, I probably just misread that. After several months of military service, your duties ended and you went back to the civilian life. 1931, July, Holzard. You and Monica decided to share your lives together after receiving a blessing from her parents. A ceremony was held in Holzard. During the same year, you were offered a high-paying job within the government, or within the governing United Swordland Party. It was important to start your career on a good foot, so you accepted it. Working for the ruling party was the easiest path to power. The financial compensation was too great to pass up. It was the best opportunity to change the country for the better. Yeah. Real gung-ho about this. You became the economics assistant to one of the more experienced members of Assembly. You worked long and hard in investigating hundreds of pages of economic reports late into the night. You were climbing the ladder. 1933, September. Tarquin Sol gave amnesty to the remaining factions of the Civil War and chose de-escalation and appeasement. The institutions and symbols of the former kingdom were slowly replaced. His government launched several new initiatives, such as a citizen-funded bill program to revitalize the economy, a social labor initiative to help rebuild and improve society, and a large dam project to solve the energy crisis. The first multi-party elections in the history of Swordland was held. President Tarquin Sol was elected once more. 1934, April 2nd. The new 5-year plan and the subsequent financial work put you under a lot of pressure, but your significant contributions to the economic strategy triggered an invitation to meet President Sol himself. Who offered you a key position. You were to become the youngest member of the assembly. Climbing the ladder. 1938, June, rising career. As the youngest MP, it was difficult to connect with the influential inner circle. You needed allies, so you brought on Peter Vectorn as your right-hand man. The birth of your son, Frank, provided a brief moment of joy, of relief. Of joy and relief, yeah. We're going to be family man. We're going to spend some more time with family. 1941, rising career, October. During your absence, Peter Vectorn found trustworthy contacts and strengthened your position in the party. At the same time, Sol increased his authority over the years. His growing ego started to cause strife within the USP. Oh God, the cracks are beginning to show. 1945, October, time of change. Sol barely secured a majority in the election against the opposition leader. Over the next year, the Swordish people grew increasingly discontent with corruption and the worsening quality of life. Meanwhile, calls for the USP Congress became louder as leadership struggle started to brew. We're going to watch some sidelines. Like I said, I probably don't align with either of these parties. The contender for party leadership was Ewald Afonso, a reformist and talented business magnate with a growing follower base within the party. Meanwhile, in a desperate effort to secure votes for the Congress, Sol was meeting party leaders one by one. He approached you too. The president offered you the position of Minister of Economy, Commerce, of Energy in the next government if you backed him. That would be a good position, but I don't know if I'm... Because, like, I think we just start out as president, right? Yeah, but Sol, you know, I guess he's, like, corrupted and stuff. Let's accept it. Sol's 5th election win? Oh my god. You know what? Let's just accept it. Let's just accept it. The Congress is nothing short of impressive. The banners of the USP were decorating every possible spot. Thousands of influential political figures, lobbyists, and benefactors gathered for this turning point. The voting for the party... Oh god. I feel like Alfonso would be the right choice here, but we did just, you know, accept positions from Sol, so we're going to vote for Sol. Unfortunately, Sol lost the leadership vote. I kind of figured this would happen by a small margin. During the Congress, Sol announced he would retire from politics at the end of his term and appointed Alfonso as vice president. The systems he had established were to stay much longer. His achievements wouldn't be forgotten. We'll just say we were happy he was leaving. A month later, your daughter was born. Monica named her Deanna. Donna. We're gonna just call her Donna. She motivated you during a tumultuous period in the party. As the VP and the leader of the USP, Alfonso began dismantling the old organizations and structures established by the USP, such as the State Educators Corps and the Sorta State Corporation bills. The general elections were approaching. The USP was under new leadership. We're going to help him out. During the general elections, the main opposition leader was embroiled in a sex scandal. Oh my god, with his secretary. We've never seen this before. He was replaced by the more popular figure, Franz Richter. This is a lot of reading. Holy shnikes. I'm going to have to, like, timestamp this. This is ridiculous. But the damage has already been done. The new economic policies and extensive privatization program proposed by Alfonso secured an election victory for the USP. Ooh. See, we did our best in order to make Swordland a better place. Dedicated yourself to the party and its success. Yeah, we're just gonna stick with the country. 1951, summer. A new Swordland. The presidency of Alfonso saw many bold reforms in government and law and advancements in liberal democratic views. He valued your support throughout. However, due to infighting and disorganization, continental economic tensions, and fast-tracked privatization, it was followed by a severe economic recession. The other parties announced their bids for the 1953 election, but the unfair election system hampered opposition efforts to campaign. You thought that your party could not survive another crisis. You were worried about the economic recession. You were worried that your reputation would be tarnished alongside... No, we're going to worry about the economic recession. Anytime you go to a large privatization, like, government reform... Like, this is kind of just, like, what happens first. But then things get better. So let's just ride it out, boys. Okay. I'm going to make sure I got enough creamer in there. With Peter's help, your presence in the USP grew. The two of you worked long nights together. He flipped opponents to your side. You became the face of the new wing of the party. Step by step, and with adequate planning, your wing took over the leadership as President Alfonso lost control of the country. The moment to make a move had come. We're going to advise him I'm not going to blame Alfonso. I'm just going to advise him to step down. We're going to be gentle. He listened to your advice. Alfonso conceded the leadership struggle, and the party eventually voted you in because of your indisputable influence. Following this, you announced that you would be running for president in the general election with Peter as your running mate. Yeah, boy, it's our turn. 1953 October. After visiting every city and town during the campaign, you made a speech on the state's television, and you promised. I wish they would kind of like give you a description, like kind of what each mean, because like, you know, there's nothing wrong with national values, and there's obviously nothing wrong with democratic reforms. But I feel like me and the game have very different, very different views on national values. We'll just go with democratic reforms. I feel like that's more obvious. The people are tired of empty promises. We need fundamental change in our institutions and government. A solid and transparent democracy awaits us. Brothers and sisters, a new constitution and a new age is upon us. God, these people, like, they write constitutions like it's going out of style. On election day, millions went out to cast their votes. It was time to face the truth. I bet we get elected. President Rain! I freaking knew it! We're bald. We're bald. Facial hair. Oh, God. Let's not... We don't need a sword gentleman. What about a blue collar... there we go. Renan. Of course, it's the last one. So we're going to go with Renan. Attire. Ooh, a bow tie. People love a guy in a tuxedo. Background, office, tan, gold, green, maroon, red, turquoise. I kind of like green. There's not a blue. I mean, I guess turquoise is kind of a blue. We're going to go with turquoise, actually. Oh my God, look at this nerd. Brown glasses, thin glasses. Oh, a lesbian cigar. Whoops, didn't want to do that. All right, we're going to go with this. We're the 4th president of Swordland. Are you sure? I am. This country's going to hate us. We are going to run this country into the ground. All right. After the recent market reforms and recession, the country finds itself stuck between 2 different economic systems, with indecision and turbulence, causing the population to demand a direction. We're going to promote a market economy. Diplomatic leaning. I don't know what any of this would... I wish you could scroll over this, like, hey, like this is like leaning left or leaning right or whatever. I guess I'm going to remain neutral. I guess I could probably read too. The global rivalries between capitalist Arcasia in the west, the monarchy of Rumburg to the north, and the communist United Contana in the east are intensifying. Swordland has the potential to align with others or lean towards neutrality. Well, actually, maybe we go with the west, because, you know, capitalism. We're gonna have some issues on our hands. All right, immigration policy. In the last 5 years, Bloodish, Wezek, and Agnolian immigrants flocked to Swordland due to relaxed immigration laws enacted by former President Alfonso. As a result, these tensions are causing requests for political solution. Toughen the immigration laws. Term focus. The once praised public education system of the nation has suffered significant setbacks in the last decade. The lack of new schools, high student-to-teacher ratios, low teacher salaries, and even a lack of classroom equipment in certain parts of the country cause massive divergencies in the public education. Oh my gosh. Okay, I guess we're gonna go with education because I was hoping there'd be like an economic thing in here, but I guess we've already sort of established that. So yeah, we're gonna work on education. That's gonna be our term focus. Are you sure about your decisions? I am. All right, 2 weeks have passed since we've won the election, and now I was about to be sworn in as the 4th president of Swordland. Thousands were watching the inauguration ceremony and cheering my name, Anton Rain. I wish I could have customized my name. The die was cast. The die was cast, and there my story began. In the distance, the Maroon Palace stood on the top of a famous Hill of Pride. I had no way of knowing what future awaited me there. I looked at my family, my son, my daughter, Frank and Donna. We're just gonna call her Donna. We're next to Monica, my wife. Her eyes were glimmering with pride. Then I turned towards key people who made it all possible. Of course, each individual was promised an important position in my government. I saw the previous rival and former president, Alfonso, who gave me a slight nod. Sol was also invited, but as expected, he didn't leave his island retreat. Yeah, he said he was retired. He said, I'm done. I'm out of here. As my thoughts slowly faded away, the reality of the situation dawned on me. Orzo Hawker, the Chief Justice of Supreme Court, was waiting for me. The time for the oath has come, Orzo says. I am ready. Orzo, please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear. I do solemnly swear. Oh, okay. I do solemnly swear that I will respectfully execute the office of the President of Swordland. And to the best of my ability, preserve and protect and defend. And defend the people of the Constitution of the Republic of Swordland. Okay, we're just gonna... It's an honor, sir. You may deliver your inauguration speech, Mr. President. My fellow swords, dear citizens. Let's go with change and hope. You, the people, have chosen together. We will bring prosperity and reform to our nation. It is a time of hope. It is a time of change. In the past, there have been times of survival, times of conflict, and economic hardship. But whenever we stood together, we prevailed. We're making promises. I promise you, we will stop the recession and eliminate poverty. Change now, not in the next decade or years, today. Our capacity as a nation has never been greater. It is time for a united and powerful Swordland once again. Let's go with our capacity as a nation has never been greater. Hundreds of thousands cheered. They shouted my name in unison. I felt the responsibility, the power, the burden all at the same time. Let's wave. Raise a fist. Oh god. I've seen this before. I took a long look at the people of Swordland to burn this moment into my memory. One of the presidential guards came by to notify me that it was time to leave. I made my way to the leading car in the motorcade. The presidential state car was jet black Cadillo with flags of Swordland. Above the front... Am I in the way of my portrait? I am. I guess I'm technically him, right? Presidential state car... Yeah, we got that. Next to it, man was holding the door. Yeah. Hello, Mr. President. Still felt euphoric from the aftermath of my speech. Hearing my new title made me smile even more. If you'll allow me to introduce myself, I'm Serge, your new driver. Nice to meet you. It's an honor. The honor is all mine. We will be heading towards the palace. Alright. Motorcade began to move. On the way, Serge proceeded to explain his duties as a driver. As minutes passed by, I found myself lost in thought again, barely paying attention to what he was saying. He suddenly gestured out the window. Isn't it a beauty? The Maroon Palace. Ah. I like the codex. That's pretty nice. He was right. Sunlight glinted off the palace's many maroon-colored domes. It was so bright that I had to look away. Every time I look at it, I'm reminded of my duty to this nation. You're a driver, but thank you for your service. We all owe a great debt to the men who led the country from here. It's just a building, Surge. It is just a building. Yeah, it's just a building. You're right, Mr. President. I don't know much about architecture, but for me, it's the most beautiful building in all of Hullsword. Yeah, Surge got out of the car to open the door for me. Have a great day, Mr. President. Morgana Westcore. He referred to the famous Swordish phrase from the times of the Revolution. Morgana Westcore. Vector insista. Which meant morning will come, victory is close. I guess we'll say it back. Made my way upstairs to the extravagant corridors of the palace, marble and engraved. Wooden finish decorated the interior. My footsteps echoed in the colossal halls. The guards bowed their heads in respect as I opened the massive doors to my new office. Yeah, boy. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this. I'm going to see if I can like make myself a little smaller. So I can fit my... it's too small. Too small. Maybe I can just like do this. We'll do this. There we go. Alright, we're going to return. Alright, economic growth. Little low. Alright, so what are these? What are these guys? Lockhaven. Okay, so these are all... Are these all my territory? There's Hullsword, Snagris. Yeah, I'm guessing these are just different territories in here. The England. What is this? Low production in England. Open city report. So is this just kind of like a free deal here? Like, you guys got to help me out with these. I mean, all right. So USP mayor, the local municipality is governed by a mayor from the USP. Okay. High levels of poverty. According to the reports, a large portion of the city's population is experiencing critical poverty. Lack of, so poverty and like no health services. Logistics issues. What's the, okay, I guess I'll just read the report. This seems like a pretty critical, city that's in critical condition. The reports calls attention to the alarmingly low levels of productivity growth in the region of England, where there are also high rates of food insecurity, malnutrition, and rural poverty. Oh, okay. Hullsword, industrial center, capital, USB mayor, logistics issues, very high Swordish population. Okay, so England seems to be in some sort of situation here. The port of Lockhaven has lost... Okay, so what is this? Hullsword. Briefing on the current political situation. Briefing on the current economic situation. 7 news. Campaign bill. Fair representation in the assembly. Okay. Overview. Current compulsory now. The Swordish General Staff comprising esteemed... Okay, so... I don't have... I can't do anything with that. Let's go with economy. Alfonsonomics. So I can't do anything about this stuff, correct? There's just telling me... Yeah, we're gonna be neutral for sure. Peter Vectern, what's up, you beautiful son of a bitch? All right, so I guess we're gonna go to host order. There's an exclamation point here, so we're gonna go through the briefing of the current political situation. Oh my god, it's so much reading, so much reading. All right, we did it. We won finally. All the years, yeah. Peter's eyes sparkled. Enjoying a new secretary I picked out for you? Thought you'd appreciate her gorgeous set of talents. It's a shame the rest of her staff aren't easy on the eyes. Yeah, you're trying to get me in trouble, bro. Remember the last guy? Had a sex scandal with his secretary. Could you imagine we'd be here? Alright, let's celebrate them. Now. We have work to do, Peter. We're not here for fun. Alright. We've got things to do today. We can let loose at the ball. Yeah. Let's move on with the meeting. We'll be talking about political strategy for this term. Lucien and I had a meeting with the party and the reformists. We most likely see eye to eye. We mostly see eye to eye, but I would want to know what you think. I hope things are looking good. The door swung open. Lucien Khaled, chief strategist, walked in. I don't need a description of what he looks like. Gentlemen? Damn, you are exactly on time. Hello, Peter. Glad to see you, Lucien. It's a privilege to be here, sir. Let's start by evaluating our current situation. The majority of the Swordfish people demand change. They are more concerned about the economy than the Constitution, but they blame the system for their problems. Well, people are losing their trust in our democracy. Why do you think radicals like Bernard Circus are becoming more popular? Everyone's expecting us to bring the change. The last government did not. Franz Richter, leader of the reformists, believes that the true change can only be accomplished by transforming some of our powers to the assembly. I will move into the details of their demands shortly. We need to listen to the people if we want to serve this country. That's exactly what we campaign for. A true change that will move the country forward. We will need many allies against the old guard in the government. Oh, I guess just like old people. The old guard. Richter managed to persuade many members of the assembly to give their support for drafting a new constitution. Reformist Oh my god! Reformist politicians are quickly increasing in number. While the reformist wing inside our party is still a minority, they could have a tripartisan majority in the assembly, especially if they unite under Richter. The USP reformists aren't wrong to agree that we need change, but we should be in charge. Mr. Richter could be a potential ally in our goal to maintain a majority. Our party must fall in line with our position. We can't have a strong divide. Probably going to go with number 1 here. We can't let the PFJP leadership take the spotlight on this. The reformist demands are clear. They want to limit the president's veto powers, ensure that the Supreme Court is independent, and take away the court rights. Is independent and take away the court's rights to vote on constitutional amendments. I don't know how I feel about this. I support the reformists. We need proper balance. Government budget 7. Personal wealth. Okay. Damn. Maybe we at least hear him out. I agree. We can't ignore the winds of change after all. The Old Guard will do its best to preserve the Constitution. Chief Justice Hawker and his allied judges have a great influence over the Supreme Court, which will be tough to break. The court is also has the final say over constitutional legislation. Without their approval, we cannot ever even change it. We'll need a comprehensive bill to balance the power structure more fairly. We must break the power of the Supreme Court one way or another. I'd rather not go against them. The risks are too high. Let's go with that. All right, I agree. The Old Guard won't like this, though. The Old Guard could suck it. Comprehensive reform that would make the reformists happy would mean maintaining a balance between all branches of government, which means removing your absolute veto as well. The reformists demand that all loopholes in the constitutions are closed. Looks like we have many challenges ahead. We cannot allow obstructionists to exist. We can't underestimate this situation. Looks like we have many challenges ahead. Yeah. We can figure it out. Our party still holds 130 out of 250 seats. We've got the power. However, to reform the Constitution, we must receive a 2/3 majority in the Grand National Assembly, which is 166 votes, and a simple majority in the Supreme Court that equates to 6 votes. After we have settled on how to proceed, we will need to go talk with our party figures. Our first goal must be to get 150 signatures needed to start the process. Following the green light from USP, we will reach out to other party leaders to see if they would back our draft. The last step is to convince the justices of the court. The entire process will take a long time, but we must start working with the Reform Committee to evaluate all possibilities for a new constitution as soon as possible. You guys really love writing constitutions. The new constitution should give the president wide-ranging powers to lead Switzerland into the future. We could work with the Old Guard to protect our existing extensive powers. We will write a more democratic constitution with the reformists. Yeah. That's what we've been preparing for internally. Don't forget that promise is what got us elected. Damn straight. The key thing here will be strengthening the power of the assembly, which we already lead with a majority. Yes, the divisions of power need to be rebalanced for a better Swordland. According to the initial draft we made with the reformists, there are 2 changes to the Constitution that are not open for their discussion. First, the Supreme Court will no longer vote on constitutional amendments. Second, the president's absolute veto power will be taken away. This can be replaced with a limited veto system by fixing the current loopholes. Yeah. I have no problem with these. Yes, sir. We will form a reform committee together with all parties and start reaching out to all the stakeholders in the assembly and the court for a new constitution. By later in the year, we should have an idea of the reform contents and what the other parties want. Another important point, we must be aware of the Lotharberg group. The oligarchs convene under this organization to influence economic policies. Conrad led it for a long time before falling ill. The new leader is Walter Tusk. According to the reports, some members of the National Business Council are in their pockets. Tusk and the group will surely try to bribe us in exchange for special economic protections. We won't let these privileged, greedy snob eat now. I will enter a dialogue with them eventually. We need to be diplomatic. I want to work with them anyway. The new administration will be open. Yeah, this is going to happen. Alfonso said the same thing. I doubt there was anybody else to turn to in his case. As far as I know, Caranti has some strong ties to this group. His influence could definitely be an asset for us, but I'm sure he'll want something in return. The group's influence is an important force, one we should use to our administration's advantage. That group is dependent on our economic policies. They can't move a finger without us. Tusk is heading the group. We should make sure he is on our side. Is it... Who was Conti again? I can't go all the way up? What? Is a sordid businessman, philanthropist, entrepreneur who is the son of a media... He operates... HOS. I guess I could go further up. Largest advertising company in Swordland. He's also a board member. Heart of Swordland Conglomerate. It's a multi-industry corporation worth tens of billions of dollars and is part of the Big Four, the four largest companies in Swordland. They are involved in many industries, but only have a monopoly in the media industry. Oh. Sort of citizens employed by HOS enjoy many benefits such as huge salary bonuses, free private healthcare, and free housing in the last decade. A leadership question has engulfed the organization, which slowed its revenue, but it still remains a behemoth. Recently, the eldest son, Caranti, there's that little... Marcel Caranti, has been a rising star of the conglomerate and a potential candidate. Some strong ties to this group. His influence could definitely be an asset for you. Okay. He seems like a pretty good dude. I'm aware of Mr. Conti's wide network. Okay, we just need to be careful with him. He looks like the lesser evil, but it could very quickly turn out to be the other way around. Oh, wonderful. We need to tread carefully on all sides with all power players to survive this term. I need to underline the seriousness of the situation. The military and the general staff are a powerful element in the state, and as history tells us, a dangerous one too. We do have some room to make structural changes by reducing their budget, for example, but it's quite limited. I don't want to die in prison just like Whiskey did. With the Rumberg threat on the horizon, we can't reduce our defense capability. The military has been nothing but a burden on our society. We should do something drastic like cutting their funding. Like, I don't know how our neighbors feel about us. I mean, if we have we can have a small military, have an armed populist, and no one will mess with us, right? That's the idea. With the Rumberg threat. What is the Rumberg threat? This is the first I'm hearing about this. Maybe we keep our military budget the same. Nope, we're gonna cut it. That is possible, but we can be sure that there will be a strong negative reaction. If we push the military too far, it could cause real trouble. Defense Minister Lancia is more loyal to us compared to Kruger, a fact that obviously can change with our actions. Either way, I see potential rift between the two since they are clearly on different minds. If we act strongly against the military, both of those guys will unite against us. I agree with Lucian. We need to tread carefully. Precisely 30 minutes. This concludes our political briefing for today. Our next meeting will be about our media strategy. Ugh. Talk to you soon, sir. I will keep in touch. See you both at the next meeting. Alright, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'll be right back. All right. What is homelessness? Oh, Jesus. Okay, so I can't do anything about this stuff, right? Law, policies, reform committee. All right. Da, 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 da. USP wants to appeal to the people of Swordland to help in maintaining stability and order in the state. The details of this committee regarding its actual child storage measure have not been clarified. Swordland today. The new president has been sworn into office. Another great victory for the USP. And Rain, who managed to get 37% of the general vote. The first congratulations, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we haven't really progressed much here. Okay, so sports. Geopolitics. Regia lays claim to offshore gas fields. Prices fluctuate in Marcopa. Okay, so I think we're okay there. Do we have any other exclamation points before we go to the main one? Because I guess this is going to be the economic stuff. More reading. This is a lot of reading. I can't read a million lines of dialogue. So we're just gonna hit main points here. Agnaland. That's the place that's doing really bad. All right. Do you really think that such an economically advanced area is more in need of investment than England? Yeah, we gotta... Don't be an idiot. What about the unemployment crisis in Greater Hallsword? All right, let's unclench our fists here. Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, everyone. I'm very well and motivated. Mr. Rain, it seems our ministers are feeling the same. Yeah, guess that's not a huge response. It's looking good, sir, although there seems to be a lot of work that requires attention. Yep, especially about lifting people out of poverty, certainly a challenge. I'm feeling fairly confident about the current state of affairs. We've already begun restructuring local governments and introducing new safety measures. Off to a good start. If there's anything you need help with, reach out. Of course, Mr. President. Good to know. Thank you, Mr. President. Now I'd like to show you the latest economic situation. My staff and I have comprehensively analyzed every aspect of... He was interrupted by a groan from one of the assistants at the door. Oh, you can put that there. Blah, blah, blah. Do, 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 do. All right, leave now. I mean, thank you. Simon started looking at his slides. He always carried documentation around with him. Wait, yawn. Rude. Simon, what happened to the new police station construction in Estord? While going through his briefcase, he paused for a moment to answer. It got stalled due to government property boundary issue. I've been meaning to look at. Okay, I can take a look at that one. Estord needs all the security help it can get. Sure. More time for me to spend on analysis. There have been some developments about the Swordfish Wren losing further value today. Oh, Swordfish Wren. That's the... Yeah. We've been trying to stabilize it with the central bank. You can't do that. The recession of 51 put enormous pressure on the economy, resulting in the collapse of the value of our currency. The entire situation was a significant cause and concern for our administration. Since economics is your forte, Mr. Rain, it is possible that you might already be aware of the data. I can still explain the current economic situation in better detail. Yeah, I guess what's our GDP and debt situation? Our current GDP is 310 billion, Swordfish Wren, and the national debt is 427 billion. Okay. Still hard to fathom that we lost nearly 150 billion in wealth. The past 3 years were tough. What's our unemployment? Unemployment has skyrocketed now, staggering 16%. Inflation as high as 10%. Okay, unemployment is increasing. Crime and drug use. We need to get people off the streets. The inflation isn't helping our average citizen either. All right, so now let's get the status of our recession. The economy has been in a recession of about negative 6% in the past year. The average GDP has dropped about 15,000 per capita and 10,000 from 1950. Oh, from 15. Okay, so this administration's success depends on our ability to stop the recession. The sooner we can reach GDP growth. All right, I have all the information I need. Let's move on to the strategy. As you can see, the situation is alarming, but not everything is negative. The extensive privatization program of Alfonso and key foreign direct investments left us a large budget surplus, which we can use to stabilize the crisis. The primary subject we need to settle is what general path we will take in our term. Solonomics-based nationalization happened in the 30s, and Alfonso's privatization began during the end of the 40s. What will our administration focus on? One of our main promises was to promote a free market economy to stop recession. To be frank, I believe it is the only way out of the recession. I still do not support it. Why promote the private sector when we have qualified state-owned enterprises? Shut up. Shut up, Leleus Graf. Because the lack of competition has made them inefficient. Exactly, Gus. Gus gets it. The more of the economy we control, the better we can manage the recession. Humanity in the 20th century is thriving because of the rule of supply and demand. Yep. Agreed. Look at how quickly Espia and Acacia has increased their prosperity by embracing these basic principles. Swordland has the potential to do so as well. Why don't we take our potential seriously? Integrating heavily in the market economy would work if we had extensive means of production our industry is lacking. The structural problems of Solonomics were going to lead to a recession according to the predictions at the time anyway. Either way, even if we pick one of the doctrines, we retain the option to make economic choices on a case-by-case basis. That is, however, not recommended in my point of view. The last thing we need is a chaotic economic plan. Finally, something we can both agree on. Lil? We're gonna call you Lil. Lil Graph. There's another important point which has a direct impact on our economy. Superpowers. We might have won the election, but I am still against aligning ourselves with any superpowers. Economically speaking, we are much more closer to Arcasia then United Contana. So a decision to align to the west makes more sense. We must be very cautious. There are schemes being devised about Swordland. We cannot give in to their wants now or in the future. Otherwise, our country will turn into a pawn. Exactly. All right, Lil Graf, you're talking some sense. I want you to reconsider your promise to align with Arcasia. Don't worry, I won't let Arcasia control Swordland. Entering the sphere of Arcasia will help boost our economy in many ways. They are wealthy and influential. You may be right. Let's see what the future... Either 2 or 4. I think I'm going to go 2. Yeah. Control? No, Mr. Karen. It's simply a partnership, and a very valuable one at that. Valuable for Arcasia, maybe, not for Swordland. That is simply untrue. When the time comes, I hope you will make the right decision for our own good. I mean, yeah. We should attract more foreign direct investment, Mr. President. We saved the country from a full-on depression in 52 and 53 by signing lucrative trade deals with nations such as Rizia, Lesbia, and Canel. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Minister Whiskey. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Mr. Whiskey will be in charge of informing you on the types of foreign policy decisions we must first decide on our internal economic plan. All right. We have to thank Sol for his planned economy for the boom. Clearly should know. Let's finish what Alfonso started with the capitalist free market reforms. His path was going to enrich. Yeah. The recession was the direct result of his free market reforms. Yeah, but it'll get better. History must note that the reason for the recession was because Alfonso was betrayed by his party. That's not true. There were plenty of time for him to do it. Blah, blah, blah. Would a free market focus bring us stronger allies? It would make Arcasia look at our country in a more positive light. They are proponents of the free market economy. The influence Arcasia has on the world economy is extensive. Our economic strategy should be based on internal reasoning, though. All right, so what's our long-term economic schedule looking like? Picking a construction company, trade relations, tax reform, and privatization initiatives would be some of them. Sticking to a solid planned economy strategy will be the best call. 5-year plan, blah, blah, blah. Let's move on to the conclusion. What are your final thoughts, Mr. President? Critical institutions must remain in state control. Nope. We should look at opportunities like privatization to create financial resources. A market economy doesn't require as much guidance and could help us attract foreign capital. It is hard to fully agree or disagree with these options. No, don't think so. We should look at opportunities like privatization and create financial resources. Let's... See, the thing that gets me here is that this is stating it'll attract foreign capital, which would be good. But I think those are going to come with strings attached. So we're going to go with that. We're going to go with privatization. This is exactly my mentality. There are many possibilities that are waiting, like education or health privatization. It would be better to promote a market economy for these to have consistency in our plan. So, what will our general economic plan promote? Free market. I can't say that I agree with that. I know, Lil Graf. You're a feisty one. She looks displeased. I think we need a new Minister of Interior. Now that there is clarity on which direction we are heading, I will work on a good plan accordingly. This concludes our meeting. At the next gathering, we will talk about the upcoming infrastructure investment plan. Wonderful. Regional map. This is the Kingdom of Rumburg. So what's the other superpower? Where are they at? I thought there were multiple. Oh. I Am I missing where Arcasia is? Or is that like in here? And I'm missing something. Yeah, I was like, I don't think it's an internal thing. It wouldn't make sense if it was. Morna. Increasing unemployment. Promising agricultural growth. For the first time in 3 years, the agricultural output of Sarna has increased. Many experts link this increased output to both a drop in temperatures and new farming practices. Cool. So, Bergia is doing fine. They have a little bit of a homeless problem, but a lot of Blutish ethnicity. I'm guessing Dasnurity is our main religion. It's a holy site. Narble. Gas field discovery. Nice. The Sortis Grid Corporation's field research team has announced new gas fields discoveries in Narble. These discoveries can enhance the city's energy supply and play a significant role in the broader energy landscape of Sorlin. Prelim analysis of the yielding quality of these fields is currently underway. The corporation will soon release a comprehensive report outlining extraction feasibility. Awesome. That's what we like to see. Government budgeting. Republic of Swordland. Member of Alliance of Nations is an international organization formed by most countries on the Earth, focused on intergovernmental frameworks, blah, blah, blah. Member of OMEG. Okay. Country overview. Okay, I see. Promote market economy. As part of the economic policy, we're actively promoting a market economy system, encouraging businesses to transition towards this goal by embracing market principles, such as supply and demand dynamics, fair competition, and private ownership. We aim to create business environments that foster innovation, growth, and sustainable economic development. I'm sure these guys are still having infrastructure report. The recent collapse of the tourism industry in Lenkerd has led to a reduction in trade traffic and road maintenance. The road network is currently in service but is in need of substantial improvement. Ports, country roads, and bridges similarly suffer from a lack of investment. Firms doing business in Lenkerd report a significant shortage of warehousing facilities, particularly refrigerated facilities. Okay, so I guess there's nothing I can do directly to these regions. I have to do it all through this. Media strategy. This is going to be very boring. We're just going to like kind of run through this. The police chief indicate a potential arson case in accordance to protocol. The SID has been called. Is the SID really necessary for this? Why would anyone hit the archives of a university in the first place? I see no logical motive there. It seems like the chief suspects foreign sabotage. They informed us that a large section of the archive has been destroyed. It included tens of thousands of globally recognized research documents. We need to support our education system. Preserving our knowledge is as important as expanding it. It's interesting that the employee records have been destroyed as well. Maybe it was just a freak accident. We do have the copies of most important works, so no single fire can eradicate our knowledge. More importantly, Lucien mentioned that Marcel Caranti contacted him. The Carantis had always been known as one of the richest and most influential families in Swordland. Marcel Caronti was no exception. He was the eldest son of Conrath, the industrialist and media mogul. Yep, the richest man in the entirety of Swordland. Lucian turned to me. He has offered to meet with you, Mr. President. Oh. What does he want? After the passing of his father, may he rest in peace, Marcel aims to become the next CEO of Haas conglomerate. He mentioned a productive collaboration. They are a powerful and influential media conglomerate to start with. They own the Swordland Today paper and Swordish Broadcasting Corporation, which means it would be wise to have them by your side. Sorry for interrupting. Yeah, what does this entail? He did not wish to explain the details over the phone, but rather in person. I believe I will be receiving a call from him sometime soon. However, as Peter said, they have substantial power over the content of media outlets, headlines, radio shows, and what he would be offering, what he wants in return is what we need to understand. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we need to determine our general approach. I said I was going to read all this, but I turns out I can't help myself. I'm no media expert, but Lucian made some very interesting arguments at the preparation meeting yesterday. There are two ways we can approach the media. One of them is by influencing it, which has clear advantages. The other is keeping it independent. Let's keep it independent. Ideally, yes, but an unpopular leader will not be able to pass even the easiest reforms. It is of utmost importance to maintain public popularity and avoid any damaging scandals or mistakes. I must stress one thing. The more people we have supporting our agenda, the more we can accomplish. With someone on our side in an influential media organization, we can do this very easily. I see where you're getting at. I agree with Lucian, but why the assumption there'll be scandals and mistakes? We can always hope for the best, but we do really think that nothing can go wrong, especially considering the very recent history of Swordland. Who is it? It's Livia. Livia Suno. My new secretary entered the office. Okay, excuse me, Mr. President. Mr. Galad's secretary has been calling me and wanted me to relay a message. Marcel Caronte, the new CEO of Haas Conglomerate, is on the line for Mr. Galad. Galade? I don't know. Well, the ball's in our court now. Would you like to talk to him, sir? Would you like me to? I'll talk to him. Right away. Connecting the call to the line. It's a pleasure, Mr. Caronte. Pleasure is all mine. I know your time is valuable, so I will not waste any of it. I was just elected CEO of Haas. My strategy is the running of this conglomerate will be different than my father's approach. This is why I'm offering a partnership deal regarding our media branch. I would like to formally invite you to my resort for a meeting to discuss details. I want to thank you for your offer, Mr. Conti, but I have to refuse. Should we just get the details now, or should we express our interest? Let's see what it entails. Our future as partners, Mr. President. Surely we can't talk about the details over the phone. I will send you details from my secretary. Thank you for. Okay, let's meet with the guy. Nothing wrong with meeting the guy. I'll set things up right away. Expect a worthwhile meeting next month. It's settled then. Looking forward to next month. I wonder if he has a pool. He probably does. It appears we're done for the day. Thank God. Good work, Marcel. Oh, Jesus. Being a president is a lot. Is time going by at all? Booming wine demand. Wine demand. Nature Preservation March. The Nature Preservation Foundation in Liren has organized a march promoting ecological practices and nature preservation. The event witnessed significant participation demonstrating the local community's commitment to environmental issues. This peaceful demonstration has successfully raised awareness about Liren's unique biodiversity and environmental challenges. Local authorities have noted the event and the message conveyed by the foundation. Okay, that's cool. Declining energy output at the dam. So what's that about? Critical energy source for Suzerain has been experiencing a reduction in its energy output due to its age. Yes, aging infrastructure. Join the party. All right. Campaign finance bill. The CFB bill has been passed by the GNA. The Grand National Assembly in Holsword is readying the Suzerain Tourism and Cultural Preservation Act. This act aims to enhance the cultural and tourism appeal of several cities, including Boren, Ribery, Lochhaven, Enrica, and Benfey, in a collective push to make Suzerain a global tourist destination. We're having logistical issues. They are expressing growing concerns of escalating traffic congestion linked to the city's burgeoning population and rapid urban expansion. A logistics report has been pointing to the significant increase in traffic volume. Okay, Mayor stressed that lack of comprehensively designed large-scale land-based logistics hubs serving as a converging point for all transporters is exacerbating the issues faced by the domestic transporters. Okay, so I'm sure we're going to have a meeting about that. All right, the Electoral Campaign Finance Bill. Section 1 of this bill stipulates a significant change in the methodology of public funds allocation to political parties. The new measure replaces the previous system based on the number of votes won in the general election, with a system reliant on the proportion of seats secured by a political party in the assembly. Section 2 sets the annual financial allocation to political parties to 500 ren per each member of assembly. This shift ensures that financial support from public funds aligns more closely with the party's representation influence within the legislative body. Section 3, a consequential effect. The amendments will effectively lead to a substantial increase in the election budget for the USP as a minor augmentation for other parties present in the assembly. This restructuring of funding fosters a more proportional representation of party presence within the assembly. Section 4 highlights an important consequence of the reallocation. Parties that do not meet the 10% election threshold will see their public funding effectively curtailed. This measure ensures that public resources are concentrated towards parties with a significant representation. I don't like that one. I feel like this is just not important. I don't like this either, but I'd also like to know what the financial allocation is now. This shift ensures that financial support from public funds aligns more closely with the party's representation and influence within the legislative body. I can't remember what we talked about prior to this, but my gut is to veto this. Oh boy. Other problems popped up. Fluctuating energy. Oh, the Rumberg expansionism. Okay, lack of allies. Not that I can do anything about that, I guess. Corruption. Yeah, I know. I wish it wasn't the case, but it is. Business. All right. Where are we needed? Lockhaven. The local municipality is governed by the People's Freedom and Justice Party. I don't know what that means. Which has promoted both liberalism and social democracy in the country. It is led by Franz Richter and currently is the main opposition. I see. The party is regarded as a center-left political party with the traditional ties to the middle and upper class, such as white-collar workers, blah, blah, left-leaning intellectuals and labor. However, the distance between the party administration and the distance between the administration, many leftist grassroots, especially left-oriented, bloodish voters, as well as Franz Richter's support for the free market reforms, contribute to the party's shift away from the political left. They represent the reformist faction. Oh, okay, these are the reformists. Korean Assembly advocating for a more democratic constitution. The party opposes the constitution written by Seoul and deems it undemocratic. They are seen as the alternate to the USP and have been a major force in Swedish politics since the first election. I see. They rank first in GDP ranking. I'm guessing first within the country. Invest in mega infrastructure. A decision to invest in one or two planned mega infrastructure projects. The Ministry of Economy has put forward two bold plans for mega infrastructure projects that would help with the economic recession in the long term. Investing in projects of this scale will take up some portion of our budget, but could prove worthwhile. Absolutely. Because that seems to be the biggest complaint in this entire country. Wish I could see what the government, how that's influenced, but, or the government, I don't give a shit about personal wealth. I don't know what that does for me, but yeah. Okay, Lockhaven. Discussion of potential infrastructure projects. The Blue Mansion. I'm in the Maroon Mansion. Oh god, little graphs here. We need to focus on boosting the economy as quickly as possible. One of the fastest ways to achieve this is through infrastructure projects. Agreed. On the one hand, businessmen are complaining about the slow logistical rail network between Holsort and Lockhaven. On the other hand, citizens are criticizing the lack of proper highway connection between Lockhaven and Arvory. The narrow roads by the seaside are not only dangerous, but also difficult to traverse. Oh, God. We need to heed the calls of our businesses in these days of recession. We need to pick the most profitable option for economic growth, which is obviously connecting the two most economically powerful cities. It is not business people who are suffering now, but ordinary folk. What really matters is that your first economic act accomplishes something tangible. We must prove our capabilities. The people must know that the administration can get things done. We must improve the economy of the nation and bring it out of recession. I feel like the highways can wait. To that point, I defined two important projects for your attention, the H3 Highway Project and the L1 High-Speed Rail Project. The ministry can only support one project at a time. With our current capacity and budget, let's move on to the details of each. Highway Project. This project aims to improve the abysmal state of the road network in Anglan region, bordering Agnolia. The area is home to several million Agno-Sordish and Sordish citizens who currently feel neglected. There are no proper highway connections to and from Anglan. The mayor of Arvery has been asking for a bigger budget to develop the regional infrastructure. He told us that even trucks are having a hard time traveling through the main roads. The increased traffic is causing trouble for people commuting in and out of the region. Can't leave the request. Party member unanswered. That must be cumbersome for the... I agree. This could also hurt local businesses. I'm not sure if this region could be a priority. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. It is. Bless their souls. I'm happy you're thinking alike on this matter. Man. Let's talk more detailed about the upgrade proposal. Look at the map. Alright, the H3 highway route starts here in Lockhaven. And from there it leads to Linkard. And then from there it goes all the way to Arvery. Yep, okay. I see that. As a result, the road network towards the Agnolian capital Stallport will also improve substantially. Yeah. She paused and leaned forward in her chair. As mayor, I saw the central government continuously neglect our country's Agno-Sordish dominated regions. And this administration is this administration going to continue this kind of neglect? We will no longer neglect a key region for our trade in Agnolia. Our Agno-Sordish citizens should be respected as swords like all of us. Yes, there should be no preference or separation among Sordish citizens, meaning we should think about what's best for the country overall. It has to be pointed out that the highway would be less beneficial in the short term. That's fine. I have to disagree. It will increase the speed of transportation throughout the region. Citizens would be quite pleased. Kind of like that highway. Very interesting, but I still want to hear about the railway project. Okay. Your predecessor Alfonso failed to deliver on this campaign promise, but now we have the opportunity to start construction and groundbreaking railway project. As you know, our current trains cannot meet standards of today. As many of the countries adopt new electric engine technology to power up their trains, we're falling behind. News about the new electric trains in United Contana has piqued our business's interest. They, too, want to transport resources and materials from Whole Sword to Lockhaven with great speed and efficiency. Yeah. This should be our priority: growth and development optimization. Our plan is to upgrade the old L1 line from Whole Sword, transfer into a high-speed railway. Whole Sword goes there, then to Gelzord, and to Lockhaven. Will significantly boost economies of the newly linked cities and even the rural areas. Lockhaven is our primary port, so the goods that unload there be transported to Holzor much faster. The mayor of blah, blah, blah has also requested the project to be prioritized. Businessmen in the region will also be very content, which in turn will increase investments and employment. Oh, God. I obviously want to do that, but goddamn, these people need some fucking help. Let's do that. These people seem like they're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. The negotiations will begin in the middle of the year. You will be able to award the contract to a corporation of your choice. The ministry estimates that construction will be completed in 2 years if every step going forward is executed successfully. Whew. Don't worry, Arbery. You're getting your investment. Yeah, so that's going to go up here. Because we already have a rail line. Like, it's not the best, but it's working. This seemed more dire to me. Okay. Invest in Arcasia company stocks. I'm ready to buy stocks from an Arcasian company. Personal investment opportunity has been relayed by Mr. Menger, an experienced stockbroker in Ventry City. Arcasia is selling valuable shares of Armadine Industries, an up-and-coming electronics manufacturing company. We could invest or let the opportunity pass. Maybe we, I don't know what my personal wealth really matters here. I guess I'll find out, but it's an upcoming electronics company, and this is like the age of electronics coming into play. So let's buy 2,000 shares. All right, reception at the inaugural ball. No, okay, this is going to be a lot of nothing. Oh my God, Papa. We're just going to get through this family thing. Hello, Monica. How do you do, Mr. President? Just stand there and look at her. This thing itches. These people are our friends. They're cool. They're with me. It's a party thrown for me. You'll love it, son. I'm sure there'll be plenty of pretty girls to dance with. He's like, ew, girls. So, what are you thinking about? What's going on? I'm wondering if I made the right choice. I was thinking that we've come a long way together, haven't we? Oh, we sure have. We sure have, honey. I'm going to help Papa fix everything. You sure are, Donna. You got the name for it. I know you will, honey. Yeah, we'll see. This means a great deal to me. Let's just enjoy the night. Stay silent. Everyone shut up. Sorry, Serge. I don't want to get too personal with you. I don't know what I'm going to have to do in the future. See you on the trip home. Do you plan on working together with the opposition parties on the expected constitutional reforms? Oh. Yeah, we're going to talk about policies right now. Does that mean you don't plan on working together? Do you think you share no common ground with other parties? Ugh. We will do our job no matter what. I did not say that. One more question. One of your first acts as president was to veto a campaign finance law that would have deprived small parties of public funds while increasing those channeled to your own. Are we seeing... no. Party or not, I would use my veto if it goes against the interests of our democracy now. No political party deserves to be silenced. There's the most beautiful family of Swordland, Uncle Peter! Congratulations, Anton. I have to say, the results were clear to me from the beginning. Yep. It's pleasure is mine. I think it's time to celebrate this victory. We could start by getting some drinks. Oh my god, it's already 11:53. I'm more than relieved then to have this roller coaster ride over, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know. Don't be so old-fashioned, Evelyn. I plan to use my power as First Lady to advance the position of women throughout Swordland. Equal rights for our sex are long overdue. Wouldn't you say so? Up to a point. Okay, yeah, let's have it. All right, let's talk about it. Sorry, don't burn the rose, am I right? Yeah. We're at a party. We don't want to fight. Can we go? I want to go to the ballroom. Yeah, let's go. Oof. That was tiring. We have to get used to it, unfortunately. Well, a loud banging noise echoed from outside the ballroom. There's another, and another. Oh, God. We just stopped playing. Everyone in the room is looking around in confusion. Peter and I turned towards it, realizing the dawning of our faces. Fireworks? Gunshots! As soon as Monica heard the word, she lunged from her seat. Shield Monica. I threw myself on Monica, Donna, and Frank. Chaos breaks out. Some guests flung themselves under the tables. Others ran towards the door screaming. Donna burst into tears. 3 more gunshots. Mr. President, are you alright? Head of Swordist Police Force was running towards us with 3 more police officers in decorated uniforms. They all had their guns drawn. As soon as they made it to us, they saw we were unharmed and let out a big sigh of relief. Thank God. Status report. 1 second. Check the perimeter now. Paul Jansen, follow my lead. Blah, blah. Bring them to the safe room. Don't worry, the situation is now in control. Please follow me. What a fucking... Oh my god, cuss words. Quiet, please. Sorry, I talk when I get nervous. Peter, shut up. Oh. Carl flipped the switch on the wall panel, revealing a hidden staircase. Blah, blah, blah. Small security monitors on the wall displayed grainy footage of each room. It is the 50s. Carl stepped away from us and made a few radio calls. When he was done, he returned to me and Peter. Yeah. Every second felt like an eternity. I fell silent. Good news, we are not in any danger at the moment. The situation has been dealt with, and the perimeter has been secured by the guards and the police. If I may, sir. Gesture towards a more private corner of the room, starting to speak more quietly. This is what we know so far. We have confirmed that people were gunned down in front of the palace. The attacker is one of them, and we have reasons to believe that he was working alone. He fired 3 shots at an MP, 1 to the head, 2 to the body, instantly killing him. Presidential guards at the palace immediately shot and killed the attacker. He has not yet been identified yet and will require an investigation. The MP that was killed was identified as Bernard Circus. We can't be sure of anything anymore, Anton. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's kind of the thing. That's part of it. Oh my gosh. All right. That's gonna have to do it for the stream, guys. If you guys want to see more of this, let me know. Hit that like button, leave a comment. I'll be streaming various kind of random games. See what you guys want to see on the channel and stuff like that. So. And I'll probably be putting out a series. I don't know if it's going to be a modded Total War series or what, but we'll see that once it pops up on the channel. But yeah, really enjoy this. We're going to be streaming some random games because I have a lot of games in my library that I want to try out. So, but anyways, hope you guys have a good day. Have a good rest of your Sunday or whenever you watch this. And yeah, be sure to subscribe if you guys want to see some more strategy and management content.